Anger isn't gonna guide you. Trust me, I know. Oh, you just fucking watch me. I'm John Renton with the retro review of Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li, one of the worst video game movies of all fucking time. Absolutely abysmal from every possible angle. Every angle that is in existence, even angles that exist in other universes. This movie is a fucking atrocity on every goddamn level. And it's not even the fault of the cast, it's supposed to be an origin story of, wait for it, Chun-Li. I know, The Legend of Chun-Li wasn't enough of a giveaway, I had to tell you that. So it's from the director of Doom from 2005. Now, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the guy's name because I don't want to butcher it, but he also did Romeo Must Die, Exit Wounds, and Cradle to the Grave. There was a 2 in that title because we had to be all streetwise and everything. I may actually retro review those 3 movies. Why? Because I clearly hate myself. As is evident with this movie, because this stupid fucking movie, ow. That's still not as painful as having to endure this goddamn thing again. I remember watching this in theaters and actually paying for it and thinking, okay, this can't be the worst thing in the world, because let's be perfectly honest, the 1994 edition with M. Bison, game over! And Raul Julia just having a whole bunch of fun, and it at least had life and energy, a troubled production because of Jean-Claude Van Damme's notorious drug issues that I referenced in that review. But Kylie Minogue, good grief, had Ming-Na Wen. My fucking goodness, what a gorgeous Chun-Li she was, and still is now. What a gorgeous woman she is in general. She was not in this, more in the pity. They had Kristen Keurig. She might as well have made coffee for the goddamn thing, because she sure didn't provide any good acting here. She was Lana Lang. You have to add the G there at the end. She was in Smallville, a show that somehow ran for 16 motherfucking seasons. And I don't think I watched it after 2009. I did not realize it went that long. It went as long as Supernatural. No, not extraterrestrial. Not that supernatural. Well, anybody that gets that song reference, you're a Katy Perry fan. The remaining of you that exist. And I had Chris Klein in this. Yes, Chris Klein was still acting in movies in 2009. 2000 Klein, as it were. Missed opportunity there. It did have Moon Bloodgood. My fucking goodness, she looked great here and still looks great now. And Neil McDonough? Quick question, why the fuck was M. Bison Irish? If he was raised in Bangkok where a strong man will crumble, why in the world did he have an Irish accent? If his parents abandoned him, how did he have a fucking Irish accent? What was happening in this goddamn movie? Why did they do everything wrong? I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying to put your own spin on something, but it is based, of course, on the Capcom video game franchise. It's called, wait for it again, Street Fighter. I know, it wasn't enough of a giveaway there. Even though I mentioned Street Fighter about 18 million goddamn times. Also, Michael Clark Duncan. I am sad now. He was a terrific actor and apparently a very, very nice guy. He's been dead, unfortunately, for a number of years. Did have Robin Shao, however the fuck you say it. He was Liu Kang in the Mortal Kombat movies. And, yeah, Kristen plays Chun-Li. And she sees her dad kidnapped and decides to seek vengeance when she grows up. But we then see her origin story before the origin story. A lot of origins going on here, almost like Ouija Origin of Evil. Another retro review that will probably have dropped by the time y'all watch this. She seeks vengeance, not Vengeance Night of Champions. Nope, not June 24th, 2007 here. Probably a good thing. She became a talented concert pianist. I remember the movie The Pianist. I'm not going to even mention any more jokes here because the word pianist is just incredibly funny to my obviously mature mind. Obviously I'm mature. If you believe that, you are not used to this channel at all. Basically, her dad was a businessman. Her dad then gets kidnapped by Bison, who's again Irish, for no fucking goddamn reason. Neil's a very good actor. There's some good actors. There are some good actors in this cast. The people I mentioned. There's also Chris Klein, who I think tried but could never escape the American Pie stuff. And how was this movie released in 2009, but it looks worse than a 1994 movie? Like, in every conceivable aspect. The stunts look like shit. The wire work, the computer generation looks like shit. This movie somehow manages to be simultaneously worse than the Street Fighter movie, and worse than almost any video game movie that was not directed by Uwe Boll. movies that I will be diving into besides Blood Rain, like House of the Dead. Why he directed that and how he was allowed to direct anything, I have no idea. I ask again, how the fuck is M. Bison Irish? But she learns the art of wushu. It's like the hoodoo that you do so well. Screwed that up. Skeleton Key, another retro review I'm going to do. Because I hate myself again. So apparently there are some Dead Sea Scrolls that show up that she needs translated. So she leaves her life behind and goes to Hong Kong. Goes to Bangkok specifically. And has to figure out what the fuck's going on. Basically, M. Bison also wants to take over property and expand Shadowlau and kills people. Well, he actually has the heads of the various crime families put on silver platters. Bring me my head on a silver platter. And then also there's this police investigation with Chris Klein's Nash and then Sun Yi. No, not that one. Not the one that Woody Allen was a creep towards. But Moon Bloodgood's character. Again, Moon Bloodgood. I would, and you would too. Chun-Li, her father's still kidnapped, but he's providing information in exchange for videos of his daughter to watch her grow up. M. Bison doesn't really do too much stuff. I mean, he sends people around. He beats up one person at one point. Michael Clark Duncan eventually does something. A lot of this has to do with gunfighting. Because that's what you want to see in a fucking Street Fighter movie. Just see people shoot guns. Don't want to see people fight. Don't want to see any actual characters, any iconic stuff, any fun. Nope, let's play this straight-laced and make this a crime drama. Just make it as bad as possible. And boy, do they fucking make it bad. They make it worse and worse as time goes on. So, she goes to Bangkok to find a guy named Gen. Or Jen. I think maybe gin. I think everybody was on a level of gin, probably about, 8 pints deep by the time they got to the second day of shooting. That was Robin Shaw's character. And he will find you eventually, somehow, because you got to go to Bangkok and make a strong man. Okay, I already said that. She had to become one with the people of Bangkok. Well, Nash and Sun Yi investigate this shit going on. Well, people do really, really convoluted things like Michael Clark Duncan, who clearly can't be visible in any capacity. It's not like he's a huge, jacked up African-American man with a big old smile, but also a big, mean old scowl, as opposed to a friendly scowl on your face. It's not like he could be somebody that would stand out at fucking all. But he gets into a cab, and they don't fucking realize this because they're cops and they're stupid. Well, also Chris Klein kissed Moon Bloodgood. How could you fucking blame him? So, we see brief stuff of Kristen Curick living on the streets of Bangkok. Living at one with the people to get to know the people. Yet her hair looks great and her makeup looks fine and everything. But life was hard on these streets. So yeah, anyway, then we see a little thing of model cities where all this stuff will soon belong to Shadowlau. Location, location, location. If people have seen this movie and you're in the comments and you want to chime off in the comments, I'm sorry for any memories that I'm dredging up by reviewing this. But it's fun to look back on some movies and see just how badly they've aged. And then it's fun to look back on some movies that were just bad to begin with and see how much worse they are. Just thinking, what the fuck were they actually thinking? So, roughly 30 minutes in, we get one of the worst goddamn fights that you have seen in any kind of alleyway. I have seen rats fighting that look better than this. We get the wire work, the flippy, the slow-mo, this stuff, and oh no, we're gonna chop, ow, ow. Have my own jaw right there. See, that's why I'm not a fighter. A street fighter, as it were. Hey, it was taking place in the street, so I guess literal right there. But, anyway, yeah, they've... The slow-mo was so overdone. It was amazing. And then she topples something on one guy, one criminal that was beating up an old guy. And, well, it turns out there's a thing called the Order of the Web. People just have web tattoos on their hands. They don't have webbed hands. I would have actually appreciated that, but I don't think the budget or the creativity or lack thereof behind this movie would have allowed for something like that. Then we could have gotten like Dagon. Or Dagon. However the fuck you pronounce that. That was a good movie. Watch that instead after this. But again, just finds her and says, oh, you say you know how to fight, but you fight with anger. That's where the anger isn't going to guide you. Trust me, I know. And then she goes to an internet cafe to study up on this stuff. It's 1995 computer monitors. Seriously, that is how old this shit is. But then again, it is Bangkok, so they probably didn't have the most expensive technology even for 2009 at this point when it's supposed to be the slums. So she has lost her mother at this point. Lost her mother to cancer. Her dad's been kidnapped. She, she's training with Gen here, or Jin, I might as well just call him Jin, and suddenly these slums are being bought out and everybody's being evicted. You're being evicted and that's it. You're being evicted to some other part of the slum so we can level this stuff and build houses for those people that can afford it. Really, that's actually this is predominantly trade and building based. It's very much not even about street fighting. It's just about it's just about trade stuff and also gunfighting and also police investigation. And Moon Bloodgood looking very, very good. Don't get me wrong, Kristen Kirk is beautiful, but she was clearly out of her goddamn element here. We get more and more investigation. We get more bullshit. We get more training. You get to train in the sandpit and summon an energy ball thingy and go like this. Because Chun-Li could summon a fireball, and I believe it was a Super Street Fighter. Some of the games are a little bit messed up to me. Actually, maybe it was Street Fighter 2 Turbo. You also need to learn a sandpit and draw the yin and yang symbol. Stop yinging my yang. So, there was a fight in the bathroom with Chun-Li and this character named Katana. I forget the actress's name, but my goodness, she looked really fit. She looks good now, too. But, well, I've seen a movie like this before or whatever, and I guess because they were fighting in the bathroom, they were stalling for time. Now that nobody else is watching this, I'll just keep talking because of that bad pun. Bison beats the shit out of this woman because she talked about the shipment called the White Rose. Who is this White Rose? But we then find out the backstory about Bison, where he basically wanted to absolve himself of the goodness of his soul. So his wife was pregnant. He took her to some caves and put his hands in her womb, pulled out the kid, and the kid has all his goodness, and now he can become pure evil. That was something that they actually thought was a good idea to try and explain and cram into this movie. This movie is already bullshit. So Chun-Li is upset after seeing the headquarters that Gen had get exploded because Balrog, Michael Clark Duncan's character, just says, "Yeah, fuck it." Just launches a missile. The Super Scope 6 made a comeback here. Nobody liked the Super Scope 6. If you think you did, fine. I don't understand how, because it was a terrible peripheral. But Vega just comes out of nowhere. He's got to take care of her. Vega doesn't last very long, by the way. He gets off pretty quickly. Oh, boy. Oh, he just finds her. Says, "No wonder you wear a mask. I'd cover that face up too." And then she beats him up and is gonna hang him upside down. "You think this is over?" "Oh, I'm just getting started." Fucking acting in this. Oh. The shipment of the White Rose. I wonder if you can guess what the White Rose is. It's his daughter. It's his daughter. That's who the fuck it is. Even though he has no goodness in his soul, no empathy, he wants to bring his daughter in. So evidently he left a little bit of empathy. He didn't do this. He didn't have a very good trade agreement. But then again, when you go to dark caves and you put your hands in your wife's womb and kill her, I guess you're probably not thinking very goddamn clearly in the moment when you're like covered in the blood. Ew, ew, God, get me a towel, get me a towel. But there were no towels, no hand towels, no hand wipes, no wet wipes in the dark caves. That's kind of why they're fucking called the dark caves. So moving on from that. She's suddenly Super Spy Chun-Li doing all this stuff, flipping around all this construction equipment. Nash and Sun Yi are showing up. I just call her Maya, not Case of the X Maya, because there's actual A in there, and also I don't think Moon Bloodgood is a singer. If she is, good for her. But basically what ends up happening is while they're doing their investigation, Chun-Li gets captured, sees her dad during an interrogation, basically. They basically, share a heart-to-heart, and then, Bison kills him right in front of her. And then she frees herself literally a few minutes later. Literally a few minutes later while getting tortured. Why didn't you just fucking do that there? You could have flipped out and done all this stuff and saved your dad. Nope, can't do that. Gotta have more motivation. Beat the shit out of these guys. And then, and they chase through the market, this slum market that apparently they just took all their shit and relocated to. They decide to throw a fruit. It's a run-by fruiting. A drive-by fruiting. God, fucking ruined that shit, didn't I? And then everybody just starts. Everybody goes to the freaking port because, of course, it's got to be at the port. It's got to be at the sea somewhere beyond the sea. There's a white rose looking for me. I'm standing here on not golden sands and watching the ship. Bet you didn't expect a Bobby Darin reference in here, did you? So because it turns out that Gen or Jin and Bison knew each other, they decide to fight. And because Bison has clever camera tricks like stunt doubles, and in fact, I don't think I'm sure he could handle himself if need be, but I don't think he could have fought a guy that had karate skills or martial arts skills. There were a lot of dead bodies because the cops show up after the cops were disbanded because their funding was pulled because Shadow Law is really, really packed to the gills with all the, with just corruption and whatever, and they have so much absolute power. The cops just get together, have all their equipment, and then invade this stuff, and then Chun-Li is targeting Bison, beats him up with a bamboo stick. There's just a bamboo stick just sitting up there, beats the shit out of him, and then summons the energy ball and says, Hadou! I actually don't remember what the fuck she called it. It's not the Hadouken. That's Ryu and Ken, or Ryu and Ken. But I don't remember what Chun-Li calls her stuff, but sends him off there. Chris Klein's character has the daughter, and because Bison killed her dad, she snaps his neck and turns his head all the way around. Very easily. Like the worst fucking supervillain. Like, how the fuck did he take over even a goddamn apartment building when he got taken down by somebody that was about 100 goddamn pounds? In front of his daughter, so you'd think the daughter might be a little bit upset. But no, we don't even talk about that. Everything's fine. Everybody's back together. The cops are back in the building. Because I guess corruption has just left Bangkok because this one guy died. There's a Street Fighter tournament. There's a guy named Ryu something. And they hinted a sequel. Thank fucking goddamn Christ they did not do a sequel. Ow. Still less painful than dealing with Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun-Li. One of the worst video game movies of all time. Yeah, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.